Hey everyone, and welcome back to Comic Studio. But the last time in the previous videos, we already reviewed for two comic studios for Roblox like this, and Not Anything as the Chocolate Factory, and Danica's Chaotic Comic Studio, which includes that the previous video we already reviewed for the entire comic studio about Deltanrune and Undertale Comic Studio, like even this, for over 7 minutes longer, which is not a quick video over here, which I never able to be mentioned to said around here. I'm just gonna be working a little bit fast over here, but the meantime, we're gonna be find something even for very lawful, like anything is over here as well. Now, let's just get around here for some sort of Starboy Comic Studio. Over the past 3 a.m., I just absolutely trying to find something like else. And I'm starting to get a little bit dumb as even though. So this is absolutely going to be for the Starboy Studios as well, which is the fandom of Chicken Nugget, like those things, anything. And it's supposed to be I found out that is actually it's maintained by Geo the Starboy like anything as well. So I'm gonna be finding out as I just try to find out for some kind of like this. So I'm just starting to get a little bit moving over here and seeing them as well. So it's the middle of 3 a.m. and I'm just going to be find somewhere as the profile as we're talking about for other kinds like this. And I forgot to tell you about here something. And this is absolutely the Dylan ratio of like this. I won't be able to be finding out as well for to do this as well. But I do not able to find out what the user comics is going to be it as well. So the characters look like anything as well, but I never seen this possible like that. So there is nothing over here, and the new banner is actually even here for to do this. So it's absolutely yesterday, like anything as well, and which is not going to be for exactly how it is going to be for like that. Oh my gosh, I felt so getting a little bit stupid as well. The first post of himself could be he or she was, which is actually for them as well, for unknown reasons. He wasn't just a little bit a fan of Cookie Run content over here, but I'm not, because it's not just like that. It's not right over here that since it's Star Park, I'm not sure this is the South Park version about for these things as well. Even running late for school it is, won't be necessary. I thought not so much could be able to find for some sort of like this. Unless I might starting to get thrown up for some sort of like this. As we checked out for some other kinds of profiles, it appears it's absolutely going to be for right over here for such as the cats and friends, but things that I'm starting not interested about any of them as well. Still not a fan of like those things as well for some kind of like this. Turning on some spoilers, but unfortunately he's going to delete his comic creator over here, which means there must be a bunch of people over here, and we can't review for those things is like anything of the characters over here. Another 3 is over here, and some kind of plushies is gonna be everywhere, or even not as well. So not even the plushies like anything as well. The drawing things were absolutely ridiculously weird. And there must be a bunch of 2 Mountain Dew. I mean, there must be 2 Monster Energy drinks from their flavors, because of the animation memes are exactly pretty awfully weird. It's most not likely anything as well for to do this as well. So this is not gonna be actually for that male over here. No, there must be a female. And another one. It was not based on for some sort of the chicken nugget as well. including that the fandom of Dandy's World, it's gonna be a little bit weird for like anything as well, because of belong to their respective users, and all sprites drawn by Geo requested characters belong to their respective users, like anything it goes. And the submitted sprites is there must be a computer guy, that must be sprites and faces, could be like Chicken Nugget, and Korean style cartoons are exactly. It's pretty ridiculously weird. And even weirder, bizarre things like this could be actually as well. So, this is more cringe accurate, which means, what is this? Wait, this is a boy from the no, I'm not sure. This is not gonna be this guy as well. So, this is the guy as well. I'm not sure. If I'm just gonna be finding out what the name it is, then his name is Elias, which means it's not going to be for around here. This is Elias. I'm not very sure. He posted himself. He snapshot or him like this thing as well. He selfie himself, and which is eventually even weirder as even possible. This is actually from some sort of Five Nights at Freddy's reference and Dandy's World reference. Not anything as well. This is not going to be for some sort of a noob as well. Even this is some kind of face that transform into a Cookie Run reference. I never going to be trying to find out what is actually to do this. This is going to be from the Chicken Nugget reference, including him or her like this thing as well. And this thing could be not from the Amazing World of Gumball reference. And right over here is some kind of this guy over here. It was so-called unknown thing. I cannot believe that I just not gonna be finding out soon. But there is nothing, everything is gonna be possible next. And there's no backgrounds everywhere. Except that must be Geo's room. Of course, that must be for one exactly how it's going to be it is. And I am such as a little bit nothing over here. Such as like anything as well, that I just going to be turned into one room as possible. Which means I shouldn't be able to add for some anything for kind of stuff. This is actually for one thing, for the dynamic sprites, we can't able to see for some sort of a full body over here. Which means this is not going to be a little bit good as well. For some cases, there must be a female over here. I'm probably going to be using for some studio crossovers whatsoever. It took me for 1 hour for adding a lot of sprites in their studio crossovers like anything as well, because everything was completely fixed, but nothing is absolutely going to be what happened to do. This is going to be privating or removing this comic creator. But most of all, I just better gonna be seeing this. But now, this is gonna be a surprise for something ridiculously crazy. And it was probably going to be so annoying, like anything as well, that I just probably going to find out. But nothing, this is where that the last video that I just heard from the comments, but we're not gonna be talking about this. And then we absolutely finishing off with some kind of 3 of them for some kind of like the slabs as well, and eventually added multiple South Park kids and probably of these guys over here, added a little bit a bunch of memes and Cookie Run characters, and a Hot Wheels Sandy's car over here, added for some sort of faces to cover them with ease. There's Thomas, Sanic, and probably Peppermint Cookie, and Timekeeper Cookie, and the Pilot Cookie over here, like anything it goes. Troll faces, and some kind of triangle thing, an air horn, and probably a magical coloring meme frog, Thomas, Sanic, Mountain Dew over here, and there's the FC over here, and for some kind of troll faces and an epic smile face. which is concludes like Eric Cartman over here, and Sir Topham Hat says, "How does everyone find that funny?" And I mean, how does anyone find that funny with Minecraft skeletons surrounding him? Probably this is not going to be all for its mistakes over here. This is getting a little bit ridiculous. If I just seen from their user comics, which is I didn't found that over here for some kind of like this, because of this some kind of character look like from Pink Corruption. As I look into this character over here, which is gonna be from Pink Corruption or some sort of just shapes and beats reference, it's gonna be over here for this zero color, and this is gonna be the Chicken Chris could be over here, and which is I'm not pretty interested about here for some sort of like this. Whenever this is really ridiculous and even more weird and less accurate cringe over here, but we just eventually using the impact instead of a papyrus like over here. If I just restart it over here, that changed it to default front. Not over here for some kind of like any of those. Hear nothing that we're going to be completely said about here. And there's nothing anywhere about for this for around. Even though this is not going to be for around here for some sort of like this. We covered it in the faces, which means that doesn't gonna be leave, which is actually for some sort of face over here. So I cannot believe to take this a little bit much longer to talk about for this too much over here, and it's gonna be into the description below if I'm just gonna be saying around here that I just never able to be saying for here. So anyways, how am I gonna be seeing Mini Lads and Comic Studio users all later, and fellow viewers who do not view from my channel, and including one of my videos as well. Nothing especially like this that wouldn't be necessary if he's gonna be recalling me for some sort of like those things as well. Sometimes he was mad at me, and everybody, or like the everybody is actually mad at me in Comic Studio like anything as well, since in the near future. Thanks again, and have a nice day. And I'm going to be signing off, and I'll talk to you Mini Lads and Comic Studio users all later. And thanks for watching, I guess.